the tip off. We'll take that W and hand you a loss. Break your ankles on the cross, on God, I'm that raw. Off the bounce, leave you on the first step. It might be a long night for you without some double team help. Or the whistle from the ref, I'm from the school of hard knocks. Watch how I hit them with a shimmy when I get them on the block. We talking nothing but hoops, a floor general and it's true. Spot up in the corner, man, you know I'm gon' shoot. Or slam like an alpha, I'm beastin' like a boss named Hefe. Trapping on the baseline, you escape no way. A baller like Kobe wearing 24 and 8. Y'all be sure to subscribe to the channel, hey, with Mr. Slam and Alpha Dog 2 and Pure Wage with the best sports book too. If you wanna show support, give us a view. Call this an NBA jam. If you a super fan, hit the bell is what you do. We off the bounce, check up, level off the bounce. Let's get it.
He's on fire.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Off the Bounce. Happy Friday, boys. How's everyone doing today?
Hey, you got the day right today. It's a very good day. Excited for tonight's NBA action? Well, not really. Is anyone really excited for this series anymore? Are we kind of?
Yes, I am because even though the games have not been good, the props have.
True that. BBB, good morning. How we doing?
We are doing good. It is time for the barn. We're going to the barn tonight. Blues by 90. Everyone already knows. But, hey, we got some NBA to cover today, so I'm ready to get into it.
Glad you got your rest. Ready for the barn. Glad you got your rest.
100%.
How we doing?
Doing good, man. As always, before we start the show, boys, big shout out to Pure Wage. He's running huge promos this weekend, guys. Make sure to give him a follow. He's doing a bunch of giveaways as well.
Yes,
so give him a follow right now, boys. He should have a booster today. He hasn't sent any updates yet, but just give him a follow. You'll see all those updates on his Twitter.
Yep.
But boys, let's jump into a quick recap of yesterday. It was another blowout. What's new? Mavs Warriors recap. BBB, what's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, we saw the Warriors who weren't there to mess around. They had their opportunity to close it at home, and they did so. They came out pretty hot, and they just rode it like that. They knew they had to jump on that Mavs team early, so they did, and I like it.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I am here again for probably the 14th show in a row saying, yet again, we knew who won this game by halftime. We know every single playoff game in the last 2 weeks. Who's going to win this game by halftime? So, which one? Which one am I missing?
The last Celtics Heat game. The Heat were up by 5.5.
Okay. You're right. There was one game. So hopefully we get a repeat of that tonight.
There has not been a single game where there hasn't been at least a 20-point lead in that game.
Yeah.
Every single game.
That's possible. It's crazy how this is happening. First of all, let me shout out Where's My Cup in the chat, screaming BBB wake up. That made me laugh. The Warriors outmatched the Mavericks in every game besides Game 4, which you know what happened in that one. The Warriors didn't really care. Klay Thompson continues to show up in elimination games. It's scary. If he's playing like this, they're unbeatable. Steph had a pretty bad night. I mean, you can see 2 for 7, 3 from 3, 5-17 overall, 15 points. But when 5 of their starters are scoring double figures, it's impossible to beat them. The Mavs just couldn't compete. They don't have the defensive structure and know-how.
They had Luka.
And they had Luka, who there was a point last night where I feel like he lost the game for them, man.
Yeah, I mean, we said it the whole time.
No, I'm talking about the second. I'm talking about end of third quarter, beginning.
Dude, he played the whole time too.
Dude, he was hitting some fadeaway threes at the end of the third. He got them back in it. Started the fourth quarter. He had a couple bad misses where he drove from layups. But he was in the whole game. They couldn't sub him out. What do you want him to do?
I just thought that there was a time there where Spencer Dinwiddie was like getting fouled on threes. They got it down to like 10 or 9. I can't remember. They had a possession where they could have got it to like 7. And he just pulls up a crazy step back 3. So I don't know, but I can't say anything about Luka here. He played amazing. Averaged 35 and 5. First 3.
He had a bad first half, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we heard Charles Barkley at halftime. He was literally killing Luka, saying, doesn't even look like he wants to be here. Looks mentally defeated. I thought he had a better second half. He had a good start to the third quarter. He finished the third quarter strong, but he was gassed by the fourth. He can't do everything himself. He really only had Dinwiddie and Brunson, which are guards, to help him to the same kind of play that he does. So he didn't have that big man or forward to get them any scoring help.
Yeah.
They need to fix it.
Honestly, I think the reason they lost is because he did try to do it by himself. We saw Dinwiddie was the only one that was actually really efficient.
Yep.
And, he started off the game like 2 for 12. I mean, Doncic just can't do what he tries to do sometimes and expect for this team to win. We talked about it throughout the entire series. At least me and Hefe did about, when he tries to play this ISO ball, this team cannot beat the Warriors or really that many teams if he's doing that.
Once, the Mavericks become one-dimensional, that's what happened in the first quarter, first half, full game. They were all one-dimensional. Role players didn't really step up except for Dinwiddie, 26 points, man, hell of a game. Like I said, man, if the Mavs lost the first half, they really had no shot, man. They were trying to keep up the whole game, and playing like that, if you had the under, brutal, man, because pace increases, and this one went well over. But it was not really a good series in my opinion. But on to the next, man.
No, it of course wasn't a good series. Mavs were happy to make it where they are. They need to find Luka, Robin. They need to. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that and keep Brunson. So they got a lot of things to figure out. Words under the hand. They've been here before. I'm excited to see them in the finals. I am hoping it's Boston, and we might have ourselves one of the best finals ever. Here's 2 fun facts for you, and then we'll move on. Warriors have won 18 straight Western Conference series. They haven't lost the series in the West since 2015. They obviously haven't made the playoffs the last 3 years, but they haven't lost the series. If they make the playoffs, they win. It's crazy. They also haven't lost at home this year in the postseason, 9-0. So it's gonna be wild. All right, let's get it cracking, fellas. We got ourselves an Eastern Conference Game 6 between the Heat and the Celtics in Boston. Boston looking to end the Heat season, if it wasn't already over, and face these Warriors in the finals. Is the line still at 8.5? Yep.
It was at 9. It was at 9.
Look, I know this line is probably right where it should be, based upon what we've seen from the Heat these past 2 games. It still feels a tad bit disrespectful. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. 8.5, 9. Like, I know why it's like that. I'm not saying it's a bad line. I'm just saying it just feels weird to see it.
Well, let me ask you, who do you think is going to win this game?
I mean, we know Boston's going to win this game. Shout out Rocket in the chat, by the way, as well. We see you, brother. Appreciate you tuning in.
Okay, well, if you know that Boston's going to win this game, and we haven't seen a game be within 10 points like this entire playoffs, and no matter where we're at, it feels like you got to take Boston on the spread.
Yeah,
then. I mean, I know 8.5 is a lot of points.
Feels like last night. It's the same exact situation.
Yeah, if you like the Heat, take Heat minus 30 because it's going to be a blowout. If you like Celtics, take them minus
30.
Or Celtics minus 30. One of the other boys. Blowout is coming.
I just don't know what. I thought in Game 5 we were going to get the Heat back against the wall mentality game. And in the first half we did, and in the second half they just didn't. They couldn't keep up. And that's why I'm just completely sold. There's no way in 2 days they got healthy. And at the end of the day, that's what this is. This is like a 12-round boxing match, right? And whoever makes it to the end, the healthiest, the least injured, is gonna win. The Celtics are least injured right now. They're healthier. They're deeper. They have more players at their disposal who are playing at 100%. I'm taking the Celtics here. I'm taking them -8. I'm buying the hook.
It's hard to go against you.
You said before the show you like the Heat.
That was just to test you guys. You definitely failed that test. It's the Celtics -8, and there's no other way around it. Guys, take a look. Kyle Lowry's probably playing at 30%. Max Strus, I don't even know where he is. Jimmy Butler's lost. Bam's all they have, and Bam has a Robert Williams, a third problem. Tyler Hero's not even playing. Who's beating them? Gabe Vincent? Come on. Celtics
in Boston. The crowd's going to be electric. It feels exactly how the game felt last night. It was in Golden State. Tonight it's in Boston. Celtics close it out. I honestly think we see another 20, 25-point game. I don't think it's going to be competitive. They're just too injured, the Heat. They can't keep up. They don't have the depth. and their shooters on the road have not gotten it done, or at home. We're talking about a guy like Max Strus. What is he, 0 for his last 22 shots? I mean, it doesn't matter where he's shooting right now. He's not getting it done.
I've never seen it.
He's going to get it right in Boston, in that environment, in a clinching conference finals. I just don't see it. Boston by 20 is really what I think is going to happen. BBB, what you think?
I love Boston in this spot. The only thing that worries me is the fact that, Boston is going to be looking to get their starters out if it is a blowout and if they're up enough. So I wouldn't be surprised if, we get hit with some crazy backdoor, three-pointer like we saw in the one game where they're just chucking it from half court to, where Alpha lost that player prop on his second half bet.
Who was that? Dylan Brooks was on.
Dylan Brooks, yeah. Like, that's the kind of scenario I see happening tonight for some reason. I think, they'll lead by 20 the entire game, and then the backups will come in with like 5 minutes left, and it'll be like, Taco Fall late signing for the Heat that throws one from half court and it goes in. But I like the Celtics. I think they get it done. So, props, do we want to cover those or not?
Of course, but yeah. Slam, we have to get the slam in this game.
Yeah, Hefe made some good points there, man. Offensively, they have to put up some points, man. Past 2 games, it just looked awful on offense. Both games went over the past 2. Total sitting at 202, man. I think the safe bet here is the over.
Wait a second. Did you say both? There is no way Game 5 went over.
No, I went under.
No.
Yeah. You said
did I say
you
over?
said the last 2 games went over. I'm like, what?
No, I meant under.
Scored.
I meant under. Yeah, I'm taking the over here, man. I think the Heat, they fight here, man. I just can't see them getting blown out. If they do, I think it'll be a high-scoring game. Something like the Celtics are up like 30, and the Heat are trying to keep up still or something like that. I think the total sitting at 202. I'm taking the over. He have to find a way, man. They have to score. Players have to step up.
What's your side on this?
Side?
Yeah.
I lean the Heat.
So do you think the Heat win this game?
I don't think they win this game, but I think they keep it within the numbers.
It's a big spread. It is a big spread at 9.
There is absolutely not one single trend or one little bit of analytic that you could even look to for a millisecond to think that the Celtics going to win, that he'd have been close.
It's really not. This is
you know what it is.
Right. They are due.
They are so due. The NBA is never going to let It's rigged. Everyone knows it's going to be hand check fouls. Miami's going to, it's all rigged for Miami. Miami by 15.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Everybody take Kyle Lowry over 7.5 threes. He's so due.
Jesus. All right, let's
I
get
actually
into
like Kyle Lowry's assist.
Talk some sense into these people.
I'm going to lead that into the props right there. Kyle Lowry, I actually like his over assist. They got it all the way down to over 3.5. I don't expect him to go out and be a world beater and score like 30 points tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if he scores 6-7 points, right around where his total's at on that. Which, that I know that's crazy that that's what we're saying. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he scores 6 points tonight. But I mean, I think he scores a couple baskets, but I think he looks to distribute the ball more. He didn't do that much last game, and he didn't bring anything to the table. I'm sure coaching staff had to have a talk with him, like, we need something out of you, man. So he's always been a decent passer, so I expect him to distribute the ball. I like him to get over 3.5 assists, and you can get that at like minus 115. So, that's a really low number. And then PJ Tucker over 5.5 rebounds. I love that spot too. He had 11 last game. It's an elimination game. This dude plays harder than most people on the court. He's going to be going for every loose ball, doing everything that he can. Because again, he's another guy that's not a big scorer, but he's going to try to do everything he can to will his team to a win. Whether they get it done or not, I think he puts it all on the line.
Kyle Lowry would have got his assist last game if Max Strus would have hit, at least 4% of his shots. He got his guys open looks. They just missed absolutely everything. The only times they scored were offensive putbacks.
Yeah,
so, if they're going to come out and actually make some shots, that's going to be an easy winner. But if we see a repeat of last game, they just don't have a chance to do anything right. It's hard to bet any props on the Heat tonight, in my opinion. The only prop that I have currently is Robert Williams over 7.5 rebounds. I think he's going to eat on the glass like he always does. And I think we're going to see a lot of missed shots in this one, especially if we get it late. They're going to be chucking some threes, trying to get back into it. that's a couple free easy rebounds for the center if they're just going to be heat checking. So over 7.5 rebounds, Robert Williams, my favorite prop of the day.
All right. I'm going with Jaylen Brown over points. He's been the best offensive player for the Celtics this series, the most consistent offensive player for the Celtics this series. I got it at 24.5 here. Going with Jimmy Butler under. I'm continuing to fade. I got it at 23.5, under 23.5, and just don't see him scoring even 20.
He's injured.
Maybe he'll get into the teens here tonight. He'll push himself, but he's been so reluctant and hesitant to even shoot the ball in offense. I think this is a lock. Last time going with Jason Tatum over rebounds.
This dude said lock.
A Hefe lock?
I'm taking Jason Tatum over on rebounds, 6 rebounds. He's hit this in 3 straight games. He is an underrated rebounder. He also, when the teams go small, he does play a little bit of the 5, which gives him the opportunity to get those easy rebounds, especially when he's on PJ Tucker. So give me Jason Tatum over 6 rebounds as well. 3 props for you.
One thing I like about Jimmy Butler's under, which makes it so obvious that he's hurt, is his free throw attempts per game. You take a look before he got pretty banged up and out for the second half of whatever game that was, game 3, game 4, whichever it was. He was getting a ton more free throws per game. He was driving to the lane. Now, being a little banged up, he's reluctant to drive to the lane and get himself those free throw opportunities. So I think without all those free throws, that's the difference in his points right now. He's not willing to go in there and take the contact.
I remember me and Hefe covering that. Me and Hefe talked about that, about there's no way that he gets, he's shooting 20-plus free throws and more of these games. I think that was kind of a fluke.
Yeah. Slam, what are the props? Close our props out.
Sure. All right. Man, I think I'm fading everyone here, man. I'm taking Kyle Lowry over. I think he has a bounce back game here.
Nobody was on Kyle Lowry under.
No. All right. Nobody was? All right, cool. I'm talking about like the world, I guess. I'm talking about everybody in the world. It's fading Kyle Lowry. I think he steps up in a big way, man. He's sitting at 7.5 right now. I like him to step up here. I'll make a couple threes. He'll probably get at least 10.
All depends how quickly he does it, because by halftime we see him waddling to the locker room every single game.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Man's got a dump truck.
All right, boys. Is it about that time?
It's about that time. Rock and roll.
About that time, boys. Wade to LeBron. Boy, I'm going to miss that, boys. Let's get it. Best bet. First best bet tonight is going to be the Celtics minus the 8.5. I just don't see any way they're going to be stopped tonight. And the prop, Robert Williams over 7.5 rebounds. BBB, our resident barn animal. What do you got?
We got PJ Tucker over 5.5 rebounds, Kyle Lowry over 3.5 assists, Jason Tatum over 33.5 points plus rebounds, and Blues to win by 90. That's our 4 best bets of the day.
Like that last one. I got 3 for you. Go with Celtics minus 8. Going with Jason Tatum over 6 rebounds. Going with Jimmy Butler under 23.5 points. Ride the wave.
All right, boys. Bounce back today. I like the over here, 202. A little trend here, since you guys are asking me about a trend. Over is 7-2 in Miami's last 9 conference finals. So there's a trend for you. Over is 16-5 in Miami's last 21 Friday games. So hopefully that helps.
The under is 30-11 in the Eastern Conference Final.
Hey, we don't read those under trends. We don't read that under trends, all right? Yeah, I think this is a good bounce back spot for Heat right now. So offensively, I think they'll score enough to help us get to this over. As far as player props, Kyle Lowry over, man. 2 plays right there. 2 locks.
Love it.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for OTB today on a Friday. Everybody enjoy the Memorial Day weekend. We will be back with Off the Bounce next week. NBA Finals edition, baby. Finally. Let's hope we get the Celtics and the Warriors. So we will have so much to talk about. I'm so excited for that possible matchup, man. We will see you guys all next week on OTB. Everybody be safe. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Peace.
Let's go Yanks.
It was Blues by 90.
The Bon.